All right, let's get right into it. We are standing at the absolute edge of a massive transformation in how we handle information. We're finally moving away from that exhausting, endless scrolling we've all just kind of accepted as normal, and we're stepping into a completely new role, active orchestration. Because look, if you've ever felt totally bogged down by the sheer noise online, or if you have, say, 50 browser tabs eating up your computer's memory right now, you are definitely not alone. And this explainer, it's going to show you exactly how the architecture of research is evolving to fix all of that.
So let me just ask you this directly. Are you a searcher or are you an orchestrator? Think about your daily workflow for a second. Are you the stressed out worker typing keywords into a box, listening to your laptop fan spin up while you painstakingly hunt for the right links across a dozen open tabs? That's searching. It's manual, it's slow, and honestly, on the modern web, it is just packed with friction. Today, we're looking at why the era of the human searcher is fading fast, and how you can step up to become an orchestrator of your own intelligence, effortlessly conducting a symphony of data.
To really get this shift, we have to talk about what's being called the answer economy. We're moving away from relying on independent websites as our gateways. In the past, a search engine was basically a directory, right? It pointed you to places where you might, hopefully, find your answer. The answer economy completely flips that. It relies on agentic pipelines, automated workflows that don't just point you to data. They actually retrieve it, transform it, and integrate it into a unified, actionable output based strictly on whatever your task goal is. It's all about getting the answer directly, no detours.
Which brings us to Section 1, the end of infinite browsing and escaping the noise of the modern web.
Think about the traditional link economy we're used to. You type in a query, you get 10 blue links, and then you have to parse through 5 different tabs yourself. It's exhausting manual labor. The answer economy changes this paradigm entirely. You start with a task goal, and an agentic system uses multi-hop retrieval augmented generation, or RAG, to traverse the web for you. It instantly delivers a unified, actionable output. I mean, it's literally the difference between chopping down a tree with a handsaw versus a chainsaw.
The core takeaway here is that your time is way too valuable for this. The death of infinite browsing means you don't have to spend hours navigating ad-bloated sites, jumping over paywalls, and sifting through all that SEO-optimized fluff that just eats up your day. Modern knowledge workers simply do not have the bandwidth for manual tab swapping anymore. Instead, by directing autonomous agents, you can convert the messy open web into clean, structured insight. That high friction is finally replaced with a smooth, action-oriented workflow.
Moving on to Section 2, Google versus Agentic AI. Let's understand your intelligence tools.
Now, we're absolutely not saying you should abandon traditional search. It's more about understanding its mechanics compared to AI agents. Standard search is basically a keyword matching index of static pages, right? Whereas Agentic AI relies on dynamic reasoning and real-time synthesis. But here's the most vital shift, your role. With standard search, you're the analyst, doing the heavy lifting. You click, you parse, you compare. But with an Agentic AI knowledge reservoir, you become the orchestrator. You set the parameters, and then you just sit back and review the polished finished tasks.
A crucial point to understand here is context persistence. A traditional search engine has literally zero cross-query memory. It operates entirely on session-based keywords. It doesn't know what you researched 10 minutes ago, and it definitely has no idea how that research ties into your broader projects. An agentic reservoir, on the other hand, has high state awareness. It maintains continuous memory. It actually remembers your custom schemas, your API inputs, and the state of your project across multiple tasks. It builds on itself, exactly like a human assistant would.
So, let's look at Section 3, choosing your intelligence tool, and exactly when to use which instrument.
Here's a practical rule of thumb for when to use traditional search. Look, Google remains the undisputed champion for immediate, single-hop factual verification. If you need hyper-specific, real-time facts like checking a stock movement, sports scores, or a flight status, use standard search. If you're doing local navigation, trying to find a phone number or a physical address nearby, stick to search. It's also still the best tool for discovering brand new domains, uncovering unknown brands, or stumbling onto niche independent sites. Google tells you where information lives, and for quick lookups, that is exactly what you need.
But you need to shift to agentic systems when your problem demands complexity. Deep research and synthesis is a perfect example of this. Think about processing dozens of market reports simultaneously without losing your mind in a sea of tabs. You'll also want agents for structured data operations, pulling messy, unstructured web content into clean JSON arrays or CSVs. Need continuous monitoring? Agents are amazing at running background tasks to watch for price changes or regulatory updates. And finally, multi-step workflows. This is a huge one. If finding the answer is only step 1 and drafting a report based on that answer is step 2, you absolutely need an agentic AI reservoir.
Okay, Section 4, building your hybrid strategy and creating an owned knowledge layer.
To construct the optimal modern tech stack, we really need a completely new mindset. And it's this. Use search as a data feed, not a destination. Really let that sink in for a second. We have to stop seeing search engines as a place where human eyes spend time scrolling. Instead, treat search as raw data plumbing. You feed live web data directly into your AI models using APIs, tools like Firecrawl or Tabulate. You are totally separating the data retrieval mechanism from the human user interface.
Doing this creates a totally new workflow architecture. Instead of just picking one tool over the other, the optimal stack uses agentic tools with live web search capabilities baked directly into an autonomous loop. It's pretty incredible. Your user goal automatically triggers direct web or API indexing, then your AI agent takes over, using deep RAG and vector search to process that raw feed. And seamlessly, it delivers a structured action or payload output. The search happens completely in the background, out of sight, acting purely as fuel for the agent's engine.
To truly make this work, though, you must establish an owned knowledge layer. What this means is connecting your active workflows, your internal documentation, and your operational data into a central retrieval augmented generation system. As backed by Forrester analysis, enterprise search is rapidly moving beyond basic retrieval and into these semi-autonomous workflows using advanced agentic architectures. This is often standardized by MCP or Model Context Protocol to securely connect these agents to your private data. By doing this, any web insights your agents pull in immediately ground themselves in your specific context. The AI gives you the answer synthesized directly with your organization's unique operational reality.
So we've seen how the answer economy is replacing the link economy and how you can combine raw search APIs with powerful AI agents to build a highly contextual, customized knowledge reservoir. I want to leave you with this final thought to challenge how you operate tomorrow. Are you going to keep endlessly scrolling the noisy, ad-filled web as a passive searcher? Or are you ready to build a frictionless workflow and become the true orchestrator of your own intelligence?